We welcome you to Baltimore, Maryland, and the empty Bank Stadium, not far from what is called the Inner Harbor. The Inner Harbor surrounded by the skyscrapers of Baltimore, Maryland. And it's where this afternoon Ohio State and Navy meet in college football. Urban Meyer now beginning his third season as the head coach at Ohio State. Ken Niumatalolo begins his 7th season and he's 17th on the staff of the Naval Academy. And he welcomes, among others, third-year starting quarterback Keenan Reynolds as the brigade of midshipmen arrive in style. Midshipmen head toward the end zone seats. We welcome you into Baltimore. Ohio State making its second visit to play Navy in this city. And here come the midshipmen, 9-4 a year ago. They have won their last 5 straight, including a bowl game at the end of 2013. Decided underdogs this afternoon as they welcome this talented bunch out of Columbus, the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Fourth meeting ever between these two.
If the Buckeyes win, they go to the BCS championship game. Miller is going to be hit, and he's going to be stopped shy of it. And Ohio State's winning streak ends at 24 straight.
Army versus Navy. Touchdown, Keenan Reynolds. Make it an even dozen in a row for the midshipmen of Navy.
It's a new year. Last year's behind us.
After a disappointing end of their 2013 campaign and the devastating loss of Heisman hopeful Braxton Miller, the Buckeyes are trying to prove they still belong among the nation's elite.
We've got a chip on our shoulder.
We've got something to prove.
Navy's most recent march of success has the midshipmen navigating a return to prominence and proving a commanding presence among their service academy brothers.
We're confident.
We're on to something big.
Quarterback Keenan Reynolds is their leader.
Keenan Reynolds dives, touchdown.
2 programs steeped in tradition, 2 teams of championship pedigree, and 2 coaches driven by success with 1 chance to make a bold statement.
We want to shock the world.
We want a championship.
A statement can be made today.
The Ohio State Buckeyes and the Navy midshipmen. College football is back. We welcome all of you to Baltimore, Maryland, and this afternoon the first game of the season for both the Ohio State Buckeyes and the midshipmen of Navy. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist, and a real pleasure to welcome all of you to CBS Sports and CBS Sports Network for this first telecast of our 2014 college football season. The big news in the last month has been the injury to Ohio State quarterback Braxton Miller. He first injured the shoulder in the bowl game against Clemson, rehabbed through much of the season, and then sadly re-injured it in a non-contact play on August 18th. Successful surgery, but Braxton Miller out for the year. A huge loss for the Buckeyes, as Braxton Miller was a legitimate Heisman hopeful. Well, that puts the weight on the shoulders of a redshirt freshman named J.T. Barrett. He played for Wichita Falls Rider, was injured 2 years ago, sat out all of last season while he rehabbed. and is about to take his first competitive snap in a football game. And a few moments ago, Allie LaForce talked with Urban Meyer.
Coach, you've had great success running the spread offense, coaching the likes of Alex Smith at Utah, Tim Tebow at Florida, most recently Braxton Miller. What qualities do you see in JT Barrett that give you the confidence he can exceed in your offense?
Well, every one of those, you had Chris Leak to that, and the one thing that they all had is they're tough guys. You know, they're weight room warriors. They're the guys that lead the team, and JT is that. And so he's a tough guy, and he's also a very intelligent guy. He really knows how to work the game.
What will be your final message to him before you run out?
Have fun and play and do what you do. I mean, he's had great success, a high school player, and there's a lot of confidence with him on our team right now.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck.
Well, it's my real pleasure to welcome back for the 9th year, Gary Danielson. Good to see you again.
My pleasure.
What do you think about the quarterback situation at Ohio State?
It's a big deal. I mean, this is an Ohio State team that had their sights on being one of those 4 teams at the end of the year. I mean, you lose a 2-time MVP in the Big Ten. This offense was primed and ready to go for Braxton Miller. Now, there's a huge amount of talent on this football team. But if there's a small silver lining for Ohio State, Braxton was hurt. And JT and Cardell got a lot of snaps in the spring, and they got a lot of experience going against Ohio State, but it's not like the real deal.
Well, there's an irony here in that big quarterback questions for Ohio State. Not so for Navy with Keenan Reynolds.
It is amazing. I mean, you know, Ohio State would love to trade for Navy's quarterback. When would you like to say that? You never know, but you know, Navy goes with Keenan Reynolds. He's a magnificent football player. When he's running this offense with his legs, he makes great decisions. He throws the ball. I mean, this is a Navy offense that can move the ball against anyone.
Well, we don't expect a sellout today, but this arena is filling up. Moments ago, the sportsmanship handshake. This was something started by former Ohio State coach Jim Tressel in 2009 as an expression of his respect for the academy as a place of young men and young fine athletes. Now let's take a look at the history between Ohio State and Navy, brought to you by Bud Light. What will happen next? Ohio State leads the series 4-0. That last meeting was in 2009. Ohio State won it by the margin of 4. The first meeting took place here in Baltimore at the old Municipal Stadium. They also met once in a bowl game. Let's take a look at today's weather, brought to you by Allegra. 76 degrees, slight wind out of the southeast, and continued cloudy here this afternoon. Navy won the toss. They have deferred the option, so Ohio State will get the ball, and that means that JT Barrett's going to take a snap for the first time in competition since high school, October 2012.
You have to wonder what Urban Meyer's thinking, no matter what he says publicly about the temptation. Do you use your quarterback too much early? Could he make an early mistake?
Here is the kick. Dontre Wilson, number 2.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That was not very deep. I thought he'd attack that.
And now it's time for the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And coming on the field, number 16, JT Barrett, has never attempted a pass in college. He was injured in October of his senior year in a game against Fort Worth Brewer. Rehab for a year and a half. They talk about his intelligence and his decision making.
Well, I think how he uses his weapons, and he's loaded. I mean, there are 6 different receivers plus 2 tight ends that he can throw the ball to or use in this offense.
Out of the spread, he'll throw, quick screen, left side. Why not? Devin Smith, number 9.
Yes, this is the way you get the team involved and the quarterback involved. A very safe throw. I expect a lot of those wide receiver screens. They're an effective way of getting your quarterback in the game. Wouldn't be surprised if he runs his quarterback now to get him a little pop, make him get used to the competition.
That was a gain of 13 on first down and 10. Ezekiel Elliott, number 15, is the running back behind Barrett. Now he comes up alongside. Handoff, sweep right. He's going to throw it. Oh, I'm sorry. They completely fooled me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right, Dontrell Wilson should have had that ball. That was a well-thrown ball. You expect your players to make this catch. Red outside, comes back inside. Great patience. That could have been caught. That was short arm by Wilson. That should have been another first down.
2nd down and 10. This time the give is to Ezekiel Elliott. Now let's take a look at this Ohio State offense. Only one returner in the offensive line. That's Decker at left tackle. Elflein, Boren, Price, Baldwin. Jeff Hireman is wearing number 5 today to honor Braxton Miller, the starting tight end.
Here's the question. How aggressive will they be on 3rd down with a young quarterback?
See if Navy they're bringing 4. Got a hand on him. Barrett will run and is cut down short of the first down at the 45-yard line by Chris Johnson, number 46.
Quessenberry gets in there. JT Barrett to the outside and does not make any throw downfield. Navy, who struggled on 3rd down last season, gets off the field. Well, it's 4th and medium. You never know with Urban Meyer in the special teams.
We have seen him go for the fake punt at Florida especially. Cameron Johnston is on to punt, and that is to Brandon Sanders. He is generously listed at 5'7". Nice and high.
Pretty conservative. You need to catch that football.
Oh, they did.
Got a new punt return receiver that time, and you can say you want to be conservative on punt return, but not catching that football by Sanders cost Navy about 19, 18 yards on that play.
That was Devin Smith, number 9, who grabbed it at the 1. And so here's Keenan Reynolds, wonderfully gifted junior quarterback out of Antioch, Tennessee.
I mean, this Navy offensive line has a lot of experience, quarterback's experience, but starting out on your own 1-yard line, nobody wants to start the season like this.
Well, they'll get a couple. Noah Coburn, the fullback, and now the Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Naval Academy. It is an experienced offensive line. Tillman, a wideout. Heap, Benz, Ryder, Zuzek, and Gaston. Joffrey Whiteside at the 1 slot back, and Noah Copeland, the fullback who just got the carry, is one of 2 captains on this Naval Academy team. Well, that didn't look pretty, but fairly effective.
Rooted out. One of the staples for the Navy offense is fake to the fullback and follow. Quarterback fakes and follows. It's actually almost an isolation play. Follow the fullback, and you've seen Ricky Dobbs do it. Everybody that's played quarterback here does that play.
3rd down 3 at the 8.
Those of you who are familiar with the Navy offense know that they use that quick motion to find out what the defense is doing, and then they call the play. It's like Peyton Manning kind of using the foot to declare the defense. That's how Navy declares.
Option left, pitch to the 12-yard line. And it appears that's enough for the first down.
Yes. That's a big first down from your own end zone.
Yes. Joffrey Whiteside with a carry.
In this offense, the fullback carries and the quarterback carries, but that pitch back always must be accounted for. Here, Ohio State, the discipline of the option.
First down 10. They'll give it inside. Big hole. This is to Brandon Sanders, number 21.
You know, Vern, a little bit of this triple option is almost like judo. They use the strength of the defense against them. They get you moving one way and they kind of take you the way you're going. The offensive play callers, this staff is one of the most experienced staffs in college football. Seven of the Navy staff have been with this team for 10 straight years. They've seen every defense.
Ivan Jasper is the offensive coordinator. Reynolds is hit behind the line and dropped at the 20-yard line by Michael Bennett, number 63.
Well, that's the game plan for Ohio State. They're playing and setting very wide with their defense. And they're telling those defensive tackles, Bennett and Washington, you must get some penetration and make some plays.
Reynolds sees defensive motion and backs out.
Yeah, Lee tipped off a blitz. Let's see if Ohio State comes off the blitz. It looked like Lee was coming inside on the play. Let's see if they come out of it.
Bobble. Reynolds was able to corral the ball, but there's going to be a loss on the play. Curtis Grant, the middle linebacker, number 14, made the tackle.
Yeah, that is just, you do not see that happen a lot of times with the Navy offense. They have a stable of 10 or 15 base plays, and they don't make mistakes in ball handling.
Turned it over all of 10 times in the entire 2013 season. Fewest turnovers per team. 3rd and 13 at the 20.
Would not be shocked if this ball goes to the fullback. Yeah, same difference. Quarterback keep.
Sure is. Joey Bosa, number 97, with the tackle. This is a really outstanding Ohio State defensive line.
Yeah, they are. Urban Meyer calls this defensive line the strength of his football team. He said they could be as good as his 2006 defensive line that he won the national championship. He rode that defensive line for Florida to put that team, and he says these guys are just as athletic.
Dontre Wilson is back to return the anticipated punt. Here is Pablo Beltran, 41.4 average. A little bit of a rugby kick, some pressure applied by Ohio State. And he gets a little bit of a roll. It's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. 35-yard punt, nothing on the return. One more left. This began with Jim Tressel, the former Ohio State coach.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families. By Northrop Grumman. And by Golden Corral. Right now at Golden Corral, get a tender lobster tail for just an extra $4.99. That's right, just $4.99.
8:51 to go, opening quarter. Ohio State with good field position here, Gary.
Okay, these keys are hard to do. You try to be short with it and say a lot. For Ohio State, you have to respect their system. Understand that they're going to run it, respect it. And on offense, though, spread the ball and the field. That's to your advantage. Navy, you got to tie inside. You cannot get rolled over. You're going to win the game on the edges. And one thing Navy can't do and concede the athleticism to Ohio State. Your system and discipline won't win. You got to make some plays.
Those keys brought to you by True Car Keys. They are the keys to success. And it's first down 10 at the 43.
Ohio State has thrown a short pass. I look for them to go deep soon. Try to let Navy know they're willing to throw the ball deep.
Boy, Dontre Wilson cat-like quick on that play. Navy's defense, let's take a look at it. Sarah probably the key. He and Quessenberry up front. Jordan Drake has been moved inside. Parrish Gaines in the secondary, one of the two co-captains of this Navy football team. Second down and 9. 1.
Bart Starr call here, we think. Nope.
Nope. Bart Starr, let's go back to 1967 in the Ice Bowl, and it would be a quarterback sneak over Jerry Kramer to the right side.
Yeah, what I was thinking, remember that play action pass? When you get those second and shorts, that's a time when an offensive coordinator can give a little bit of confidence to the quarterback and throw a deep ball and figure I got 2 more downs to pick it up.
Now the ball at the 45. Rod Smith, number 7, has come in at a running back spot on either side of J.T. Barrett. And they write it to Jalen Marshall, redshirt freshman, number 17. They just are so deep, aren't they?
Well, they are. They've got 6 guys in the slot and wide receiver that could line up anywhere on the field. But I got to tell you, down on the field, looking at Navy's talent, I mean, these are not just small little skinny guys. They are athletic looking. This is a different team than I saw when I first started covering Navy about 5 years ago.
They'll go left. And it's Marshall for the second carry in a row, number 17. And Ohio State moves the chain again.
You get everybody involved, get the ball to Marshall. Again, Marshall might line up in the slot. He may line up in the backfield. Very similar to the system that Urban used at Florida when he had Rainey and Demps and Percy Harvin lining anywhere up when they broke the huddle.
And now Urban Meyer is recruiting his own players. This is his 3rd year, so able to get the athletes in position that he wants. Play action. Got him! Paul Quesenberry, number 45.
Remember the Achilles heel going into this football season for Ohio State, replacing 4 starting offensive linemen that started every regular season game for Ohio State a year ago. All 4 of them graduated with a degree, and all of them are in the NFL.
Now that was Pat Elflein who missed the block on Quesenberry. Loss of 9. Second down, 19. Ouch. Michael Thomas, number 3, tackled hard at the 35. It'll be 3rd down, 11.
I believe that was Chris Johnson, one of those outside linebackers. Navy will bend but don't break defense. Stand back, force that throw underneath, and the 2nd, 3rd and long of the game so far now for this Navy defense against an inexperienced quarterback. Let's see how Ohio State handles it.
Corey Smith is split wide to the left side. Evan Spencer near side. 3-man rush, pressure applied. There's a tackle made inside the 30, and there is a flag.
Yeah, Vern, actually a linebacker did rush inside to make it 4. Interesting decision now for Navy. I'd take the penalty because they're in field goal range, or Ohio State might go for it. I'd back them up. Let's see what they do.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It remains 3rd down.
Call is on Billy Price, the guard. Referee is Mike Cannon out of the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think it was Daniel Gonzalez, number 58, that came inside, and Price is the one that dragged him down. I don't know who they called it on, but it could have been either guard in that situation.
Well, it was called on Billy Price, so now 3rd and 21. Billy Price regarded as the strongest player on the Ohio State team. They'll sweep it right side. Dontre Wilson. Wow, he picked up a bunch.
Now it's decision time for Urban Meyer. It would be a 48, 7-yard field goal, something like that. He has decided he's going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, he's going to bring on the field goal unit, and that includes a freshman place kicker, Sean Nurenberger, out of Buckner, Kentucky. Nurenberger attended a high school kicking camp and regularly nailed them from 50 yards with Urban Meyer standing alongside. This 46 yards away. That could be perfect. The freshman from Kentucky gives Ohio State the early lead from 46 yards out. 3-0 Buckeyes. Tracy Wolfson. The GOAT probably won't be here. He'll be 25 miles away.
Boy, the legal profession must be happy about this Thursday night football. I mean, it's just Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. I mean, All of us married guys better be careful.
Exactly. That 80-inch television set you've got at home, Chrissy's going to say, not tonight.
How about that? Football's on.
Who'd have thunk it? Ohio State 46-yard field goal. Kyle Clinton will kick off. He was a senior who lost the place kicking spot to the freshman Nuremberger. And Damon Brown, number 25, is joined deep by Tonio Gully. That one goes left, and the knee is taken 5 yards in.
Well, let's see if we don't see the real Navy offense here right now. You know, a poor decision on the punt cost Navy terrible field position. They had to be very conservative with their offense. They got a first down to get out of the way, but basically they had nothing there. I mean, I think this time we'll see the game plan a little more clearly for Navy, but, you know, big part of this game so far, Washington and Bennett inside have been tough to handle for this Navy offensive line.
Ryan Williams-Jenkins, number 24, is in the on-field backfield now. Noah Copeland, the fullback, directly behind Keenan Reynolds. Toss, right side. Little skip and a 11-yard gain by Ryan Williams-Jenkins, number 24.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the message that Navy has to show and continue to show to this Ohio State team. You may stop one phase, but we're going to show you every phase of our running game. For this offense to work well, you have to run it wide open.
Wide receivers put wide left on first down.
Keenan Reynolds making most of the decisions on the field.
He keeps it this time. Gets a block on the edge. Huge gain for Keenan Reynolds.
Well, Keenan Reynolds says we don't have, you know, the measurables, excuse me, have not been kind to me. You know, I don't run a 4.340, but I got to tell you, he runs fast enough.
That's a 25-yard gain on first down. We saw, excuse me, go ahead.
Okay, go. You know, it's our first game too. Bobble a couple.
First down and 10 after the 25-yard pickup. Ball at the 40 of Ohio State. Option left to Brandon Sanders. Well, defensively, we've talked a little bit about the front line. It just might be the best D-line in all of college football. Bosa, Washington, Bennett, Steve Miller is sitting out, or rather is playing for Noah Spence, who's sitting out 2-game suspension. It's actually his third in a row. And Steve Miller expected to play well today.
Yeah, and Joshua Perry's playing middle linebacker right now against this group. A lot of speed. He was an outside linebacker, and they got him in the middle to run down those options like he just did on the play before.
False start. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, take note of that. That's E.K. Benz. 2.6 penalties per game for Navy last year. That is a rarity. Normally so disciplined.
Let me just tell you, I was down on the field, and I saw some of these men that Navy plays, these defensive linemen. Our country is in good hands. They are some men down there.
Second down and 13. Play action. Reynolds chased by Bennett.
Get rid of it. Don't take
Finally
it.
fires it.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow. Here I am telling him to throw it away.
Brandon Colon.
Not only did he throw the ball, he directed the pass. Look at him wave in the receiver and wait till the last second to throw the football right to the outside, and his right toe was down.
And it was Rashad Frazier who got to Reynolds, but a fraction of a second too late.
They're going to review that catch, though.
The ruling on the field is a catch. The previous play is under further review.
We mentioned that this is a Big Ten officiating crew, but the replay booth manned by the American Athletic Conference, and the replay official is Jack Kramer.
His left foot is down as he catches the ball, and then he gets his right foot down. Now, did his left foot drag out before he got his right foot down? That's the question. Remember, it was called a reception. Left foot down, drags it, right foot down. I think that's going to count.
I do too. Yeah, not much more to overturn it. And a quick decision. Bless them.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Take a look at it.
Now that's how replay should operate.
Exactly.
Make a decision up there, right?
You know, let me see it again.
Go with your first instinct. What can they do except go on Twitter and call you every name in the book when you're wrong?
Are you familiar with this?
Well, Keenan Reynolds has showed you the package now. That's what Ohio State is up against. They got the pitch sweep on first down, the quarterback keep, and then the scramble to the outside with the arm. I mean, you can have extremely talented defenses, but this offense that Paul Johnson and Ken Niumatalolo has been running, they know how to do it, they recruit to it, and they got it right.
First down and 10 after the completed pass. Up come left, there's the pitch, perfectly played, downfield block, and the ball is tackled Joffrey Whiteside, who grew up in Columbus, Ohio, by the way.
When everything's working, and by the way, Navy has an extra offensive lineman on the field right here. Playing tight end, I think that's Heat, number 62, it is. But the arc block works. You see it work. It was Williams-Jenkins that got that block. Vern, Ohio State worked for 15 or 20 minutes. Every linebacker, safety, and corner was working on how to defend the arc block. First time in the game, puts them on the ground.
Bango. Reynolds, shifty moves. Inside the 10. Armed Forces Football is proudly sponsored by USAA. Now, Keenan Reynolds, we chatted with him last week, and he said his first recollection of Navy football came when he was sitting at home watching Ohio State Navy play in 2009. Little knowing at that spot that he would wind up one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the Naval Academy. Second down and 2. Pitch perfect. Inside the 5. It's Joffrey Whiteside, number 29.
They run it over and over and over again. Ohio State runs their keys and tackles their assignments every play. But as I was saying in my open, Navy's got athletes too. They don't measure up, obviously, to Ohio State athletes. But this is not just a bunch of slow military guys. These are recruited athletes.
Reynolds, he had 31 touchdowns on the ground last year. That's third best in the history of college football. And he's close now to be second down and goal.
Yeah, and I would assume that Navy will let this half run out and get to the second quarter. Time is their friend. The shorter the game goes, the advantage is to Navy.
Ken Niumatalolo, native Hawaiian, 17th year on the staff at the Naval Academy. You think he's found a home. He's in his 7th year as the head coach. That is the end of the first quarter. Ohio State leads by 3. Navy is threatening. You're watching college football here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Good look at an anxious Navy sideline as the midshipmen about to score. They're on the threshold. They trail 3-0, and they've gone 78 yards on the current play.
Here's a look at some of those Navy defensive linemen, Vern, I was talking about. Those are some men, I'm telling you. They have a weight room at Navy, just to let you know.
I'm guessing they're not going to be submariners.
No, they're the real thing.
Yeah. Well, the Verizon Red Zone stats, this is from last year. You see 61 trips inside, 42 touchdowns. It's second and goal, Navy here. And everybody in tight. Reynolds, no, third and goal. Again, 31 touchdowns on the ground last year.
Yeah, I think Ohio State read that stat too, because they are playing the quarterback. Staying low, linebackers filling the spot. They've stopped him 2 straight times.
Quarterback sneak. Did he get the push?
I don't think so.
No, the spot's going to be 4th down. Now then.
Yeah, that was a odd call. Now what do you do? I mean, obviously they're going to go for it, but I'm surprised the attack. Really am. Right up against the strength of Ohio State.
This began as a 1st and goal from the 2. One of the best defensive lines, the Buckeyes, in college football. They toss it. Watch out for the pursuit.
Nope.
Short.
Nope.
To Brandon Sanders. It'll be Ohio State ball. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did he touch it? Did he have control of the football?
Gosh.
Did he have control of the football?
I did not see the official signal touchdown.
Let's watch it. He touched the pylon. He knocked it down. Great call. Was anything out of bounds? Now they have to look. They have to look from the different angle.
Under further review. The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
That pylon is part of the goal line. So if you touch it, it's a touchdown. Looked to me like he had control of the football too. Switches hands to the inside hand. Does his knee go down before he touches it? It's so close here. Was it his right knee down? That's the next thing to look at.
Duran Grant was the first one there.
Obviously, Bosa thinks it's stopped.
Yeah.
He's either listening to us or he thinks the play. Now, was his right knee down or not? They're not going to review. They're not going to
overturn it. I don't think so either.
No way. They're going to call it a touchdown.
The original call touchdown, and again, it's the old cliche about indisputable visual evidence.
Was a great goal line stand by Ohio State. I think Navy played into Ohio State hands early. Kenny thinks it's a touchdown. Was his
that's an interesting.
Yeah, is his right knee down? You don't know. It's so fine. Remember, indisputable visual evidence. I don't think there's anything indisputable about that.
After review, the play stands as called touchdown.
Urban gave it away. Did you see Urban walk away when he was looking at the official?
Yeah.
I mean, it was well defended by Ohio State. I mean, you can't ask for more. And then right at the end, just by Sanders just switching hands with the ball and reaching out and touching it for the touchdown.
Nick Sloan. From the high end zone camera.
Played off a block. You can see it. Grant made the big play getting out there to stop him, but just enough momentum to get there and make the play.
Well, the question became the knee. The answer was knees not down.
Exactly.
Brandon Sanders got the touchdown with a nifty play, hitting the pylon, but it was an impressive drive through and through.
Well, we talked about that you're going to have to make some athletic plays to win this football game. A catch on the sideline, dragging your legs, and then the athletic play by Buck Sanders right here, reaching out that football. Kenny Niumatalolo, I talked to him on the field. I said, Kenny, here's my keys to the game. He looked at me, he said, exactly. We cannot concede athleticism in this game.
Well, a most impressive Navy drive, and they lead Ohio State.
You know, I got the feeling there's going to be no hiding Ohio State's quarterback in this football game. That was a big message to Ohio State.
Out to the 35.
If I'm Tom Herman, or if I'm Urban Meyer, I'm talking to Tom Herman, my offensive coordinator, I'm saying, listen, we got a good defense, but these guys are good. They're going to score points. They're going to move the ball. Give them our whole offense.
And so we shall see. That's a 35-yard return. Dontre Wilson out of DeSoto, Texas, a suburb of Dallas.
Remember, this is the first quarterback that Urban Meyer and Tom Herman have recruited since at Ohio State. This is their guy. They selected him. Highly sought after, as Vern told you, out of Texas.
Curtis Samuel, the freshman, they expect great things out of him. He's on the field right now wearing number 4. Behind J.T. Barrett, 2 wides to the right side, 1 to the left. And Barrett will keep it and come left. And today's quarterback profile is brought to you by True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the nutrition experts at One a Day. Mentioned that he played high school football at Ryder High School in Wichita Falls, out west of Fort Worth on Highway 287. Injured against Fort Worth Brewer October of his senior season, torn left ACL. And earlier in this game completed his first pass of his collegiate career. So the swing pass out of the backfield, that's Samuel across the 40. And for more on J.T. Barrett, let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Vern. When J.T. was named the starting quarterback, I reached out to his offensive coordinator at Ryder High School, Mark Bindle, and Mark told me that he was so well respected by his teammates that they named him the captain his sophomore year before he was even named the starting quarterback. He'd play a little slot receiver and then rotate in at QB. When he tore his ACL, like you mentioned, his senior year, he was the only player given permission to speak at halftime. Very well respected by his teammates.
All right, thank you, Allie. It's 3rd down and 3. Barrett back, chased, has to dump it as he is driven to the ground. Back to the 30 by Will Anthony, number 90.
Boy, this is a bad omen for Ohio State. Remember, this Navy team was one of the worst in college football last year in sacks. They only had 11 sacks all year. And so far in this football game, the Navy defensive line on 3rd down is giving fits to this Ohio State offensive line. That time, Darrell Baldwin was the guy who got beat inside.
Cameron Johnston on to punt on 4th down. And Brandon Sanders, who scored the Navy touchdown, is back to return it 4th and 3. Return is on all the way for the Academy. Oh, boy. A boomer. Into the end zone. It will come out to the 20. That's a 58-yard punt by Johnson. Naval Academy leads the Ohio State 7-3. 7-3, 1st down 10, early moments, 2nd quarter.
Let's see if Ohio State can get a couple penetration defensive plays. That's how they stopped Navy before and forced him to punt. To kind of throw this offense off balance, you got to get in the backfield a couple times.
1st down 10. Last Navy drive won 76 yards in 11 plays. And the touchdown coming.
Vern, here's that formation again. An extra offensive lineman in the game.
Oh boy, Reynolds.
Here's the penetration.
Yep. Adolphus Washington. Today's quarterback profile brought to you by True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the nutrition experts at One a Day.
Ohio State's defense is setting very wide. They're playing the edges. They're as you look at Keenan Reynolds right there on his ship with a few of his teammates. What is that, helicopter practice?
Helicopter training, yeah. Left side, not much. 3rd down. Noah Copeland.
Well, the fullback position averaged plus 20 attempts, a little over 20 attempt average all year. They have 3 different fullbacks, and they just run them in and out.
Jameer Tillman, number 4. They don't pass a lot, obviously, maybe, but they do think Tillman, wearing number 4, will be a key part of the passing offense. See what they've got in mind here on 3rd and 5. They will throw. Or not. Sacked at the 20. Adolphus Washington, back-to-back plays. He's a young man they think is kind of underachieved over the years.
Well, I'll tell you, Washington and Bennett have been the story of the Ohio State defense, and really by alignment, Ohio State is depending on them. They're setting their ends wide, their linebackers wide, their middle linebacker very deep, and Bennett and Washington are doing a good job. When they penetrate, that's giving Navy problems.
Pablo Beltran is on to punt, second time for the Naval Academy.
See if Ohio State doesn't go for a block here.
Ooh, pretty good penetration. Dontre Wilson at the 30. Gets a block, there's a flag. So this one is coming back regardless. Wilson does get across the 50, but forget about it.
I just don't understand. If I was coaching, this would be one of my pet peeves, I got to admit. When you're blocking going away from the goal line, when you're going the wrong direction, the Ohio State defender was going the opposite way, and that time just makes the block in the back.
Eli Apple, it appeared.
Yes. I mean, he's facing away from the Ohio State goal line. You're going to get called.
Receiving team number 16. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
It actually was 13. You were right, Vern.
Yeah.
It was Apple.
I didn't think it was J.T. Barrett.
I mean, watch it. 13's going away from his own goal line and makes the block. I mean, it's just, if you could just get your guys to block towards your own end zone, you wouldn't get that shove in the back, obviously. Unnecessary.
That's the end of the sermon?
Yes, for today. For today.
Urban Meyer's team trails Navy 7-3. Time now for today's icy hot injury report on Ohio State's Braxton Miller. He was about to start his 4th straight year as a quarterback, out for the season with a shoulder injury. For more, here's Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. After Braxton finished surgery with Dr. James Andrews down in Florida on Tuesday, he tweeted out that surgery was a success, relieving Ohio State fans all over the country. Well, the best player in the NBA was relieved as well. LeBron James decided to reach out. He's a known Ohio State fan, saying, excited and happy, my little bro, Braxton Miller's surgery went great. You mentioned that Jeff Harriman, the tight end, is also wearing number 5 for Braxton. He tweeted at him before the game saying it's only right that part of you is on the field with us. Braxton responded, thanks, brother. Love ya.
All right, Ellie, thank you. First down and 10. Of course, there's Hireman wearing number 5 today.
Ohio State conservative so far. Only one ball thrown downfield more than 10 yards.
And off. Dontre Wilson, the sophomore out of DeSoto, Texas, comes left, picks up about 5. William Tweeter. Well, we mentioned earlier, Gary, that only one offensive lineman returning as a starter for Ohio State. Look at that.
Yep. 20
starts among them. Second in the country, second fewest.
Kind of the story of college football. You ride an offensive line, 3 straight wins with those guys, and then you got to get new guys.
That's a give on the left side. Ezekiel Elliott had wrist surgery about 3 weeks ago, cleared for practice. Now here comes Hireman lining up tight to the left. Third and short. Now it's going to be 1st and 10.
It's the first time I've seen in the game Ohio State go up tempo. I mean, they call themselves, we're no huddle, not hurry up. We're no huddle up tempo. There's so many letters you got to know nowadays.
I know that.
That's NH up tempo UT, not
NHUT.
Not NHHU.
Okay.
There's a very big difference.
It doesn't make for a good acronym. I know that. Oh boy. Oh, that one very nearly picked off. The catch is made by Evan Spencer, number 6.
I think the veteran that time, Parrish Gaines, sniffed that one out. Parrish has been doing this as long as Vern and I have been doing this. Look at that. I saw him running that thing down. If that ball would have been thrown upfield to the upfield shoulder, that could have been intercepted.
As it is, they picked up 5. It's 2nd down and 5. 7-3 Navy. nearly midway through the second quarter from Baltimore. Quick flip, near side. Jalen Marshall, number 17. That's going to be another move to change play for the Buckeyes. Chris Johnson with the tackle.
Buckeye fans know Jalen Marshall from Middletown, Ohio, high school quarterback. Took him a year to learn how to be a wide receiver. They're expecting big things from him. Playing all over the formations for the Ohio State football team this year. In the slot, a little running back, and he must be able to throw. Here's a little unbalanced line for Ohio State here. Let's see what they do. Jet sweep. Yep.
Right side, big hole, Marshall.
That one was almost a giveaway there. Once they went the offensive line and they kept Marshall to the weak side, you can almost feel the jet sweep. This is going to actually be a completed pass for JT. He flips it forward and Marshall gets a reception. That'll count as passing yards.
First down and 10. (7-3) Navy on a Brandon Sanders touchdown on fourth and goal. Barrett, a lot of time, got a man wide open. Dontre Wilson, the hybrid back. It'll be first and goal Buckeyes. That's a gain of 30.
Wasn't that pretty? Run the ball, play action pass. I mean, there's really nothing new in football. You know, you can run the ball a little bit, you can play action pass and put that defense in stress.
Barrett, nifty feet, intercepted. Parrish Gaines picks it off inside the 5. Wily old veteran.
Yeah, you know, Vern, you made the call. It was a nifty play by J.T. Barrett. But the result of that was he took his eye off downfield. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's hard to refocus. Watch him spin. Now it's hard to refocus on those defenders. You look for the red shirts, you don't see the white shirts. He lost perspective, and as you said, the veteran, he missed one early. He comes back and gets that one right there. Big turnover for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he was trying to find Dontre Wilson. Here's Urban Meyer. That's as close as it gets to an oofta for Meyer. Big turnover. 7-3 still. Parrish Gaines with his 6th career interception, this time inside the 5.
Well, you can almost see from the high camera here what JT didn't see. Here's Parrish Gaines right here, okay? What he does is goes out into the flat very quickly. The quarterback, when he turns around, JT sees him inside, and then Gaines just hightails it and runs underneath that throw. Again, another athletic play by this Navy football team.
In 1968, the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. Blanton Collier of the Browns, Tom Landry. And Tom Landry called the Browns defense the rubber band defense. Said, what do you mean by that? He said, they bend, but they don't break.
Nothing new in football.
There you go.
Vern, us Ohio Cleveland Brown fans are very touchy about old stories.
Oh dear.
We do not like old football stories about Cleveland Browns.
Hey,
they never end up well.
The Cleveland Browns in the 60s forced the Cowboys to be called next year's champions.
You know, but from then on.
Yeah, I understand. Pitch right side. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by Northrop Grumman. 7-3, 7:24 to go second quarter on a very pleasant August afternoon here in Baltimore.
There's that unbalanced line again that Navy's been using in the football game, putting both wide receivers left, shifting one tackle over to the right. It looks like it's bothered Ohio State's alignment.
Reynolds, late pitch, bobbled, it's on the ground. Now it's in the arms of the Buckeyes. Turnover for turnover. Joshua Perry getting a lot of kudos for fall practice play with the recovery.
Where the running back and the quarterback got out of phase that time. Sanders got too close to the quarterback. He didn't keep his normal 4 or 5 yards, and the pitch got on him. Watch Sanders turn up too quickly. It surprises Reynolds. The pitch actually goes forward, and Sanders does not handle it.
Well, Deron Lee, number 43, was a part of that defensive effort.
Yeah, that might be under review. That might be called a forward pass. Watching that again, that ball was pitched forward.
The ruling on the field is being reviewed.
That's going to be an incomplete
The ruling
pass.
was a fumble recovered by the defense.
That ball looked to me like it went forward when I watched it the last time. There was did we have another angle of that? I thought we had one more down the line that was.
Okay, see where the ball is at about the 8.
I don't think you could change it on that picture, but I thought we had one more look that you could see clearly that it was a This one right here.
It.
Yeah, this is the one. See, that ball to me looks like it's going forward. It's a hairline forward, I will admit, but I think that ball's going forward, and that could be called an incomplete pass. It could be. The replay official's going to take his time on this one.
Yeah. Well, they are showing that replay on the
this is the
big screen here. Oh, would it ever?
Big break for Navy. Whew. And until we saw it that last time, you didn't really realize that it might be a forward pitch. Well, the Navy defense thinks it is. They were huddled up, ready to go, and they've returned to the sideline.
Here's the decision.
After review, it has been determined that that was a forward pass that was fell incomplete. As a result, it will be Navy ball. 3rd down on the 8-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 6:57.
Yeah, he pitched
5-7.
He pitched from behind the 8-yard line, and he caught it in front of the 8-yard line. Remember, it'll be now what, 3rd and 5 here. Hey, if you're Ohio State, you got to swallow hard. It's part of the football game. Can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to re-gear up. That defensive line has to make a play now. They've already done it 2 or 3 times. 3rd down, the Ohio State defensive line needs to make a play.
3rd and 5.
And they did.
Yes, they did. It'll be 4th down. Noah Copeland with the carry, the fullback.
I'll tell you, Michael Bennett and Adolphus Washington right now are just manhandling a veteran offensive line for Navy. Look at that leverage inside that Bennett does not get knocked out. And you think about the weight room work that they do, that's why they do it.
And so 4th down and 3.
Michael Bennett carried in the American flag. It's about like he had it right there. He was not giving up the hill on that one.
Beltran will punt. Dontre Wilson. This is a line drive. See, he will let it bounce, but he catches it on the 2nd hop. And so it's a matter of 35 yards field position difference. Another look at the forward pass, so ruled by the instant replay official. Ohio State does have it. Because of the injury to Braxton Miller, the shoulder injury that cost him the full season, J.T. Barrett got his first start earlier this afternoon. He completed his first pass. How's he done, Gary?
I think above average. I think they've managed him well. You know, hit the wide open pass. There was a drop ball down the middle. You know, I think considering the way this veteran Navy defense plays, I think Ohio State is going to have to continue to keep it wide open the way they attack the Navy defense.
Well, he's 8 of 11 for 96 yards, but as Gary said, only 1 downfield. Well, 2 now.
Yes.
1st down and 10. They'll come left side and find a big opening for Curtis Samuel.
I will say this, I think he's fared a little better than the new offensive line for Ohio State in the game so far.
5:45 to go before the break. 2nd down 2.
Looks so odd looking at Hireman with number 5 out there.
It does, yes. Normally number 86 and that 5, of course, to honor Braxton Miller. Samuel shows some promise.
Hey, out of practice, you just watch it. It's just one guy after another. That has been the goal of Ohio State's recruiting. I mean, come on. It always is Ohio State. They've had great players for 30 years. They've had drafted players. They've had speed. It would be an insult to all the ex-Ohio State players to say they never had speed and athletes. But it's where the speed is placed now is a little different.
1st down and 10 after Samuel's run. Devin Smith is in a slot to the left side. Corey Smith is also out there. On 1st down 10. Samuel coming left does not get the block he wanted and needed. Tackle at the 22.
Paul Quessenberry, number 45, senior defensive end, made the play to the outside. He refused to be blocked that time by Taylor Decker. Decker gets his block, but to the outside, Quessenberry defeats the arc block, basically, making the play. Was that Chris Johnson instead of Quessenberry? Was 46 instead of 45? It was.
2nd down 10. Play action. Barrett tucks it, runs it, pursued. Jordan Drake got him, but it's very close for the 1st down inside the 12. Curtis Samuel with the block out on the edge.
It's exactly what I think Tom Herman, the offensive coordinator for Ohio State, and Urban Meyer said, good block by Samuel, you're right, Vern, is when you scramble, that's when you need to be most careful. Within the offense, let her rip. But when you get outside and things change, be conservative with the football, whether you run or throw to a guy wide open. Do not take chances when you're outside the pocket.
Under 4 to go 1st half, 7-3, but Ohio State threatening to reclaim the lead. They'll come left. Dontre Wilson down to the 3-yard line. Number 2.
He plays slot, plays wide receiver, but he was a high school running back. And in this style of offense, you see Hireman get a block and kind of reach up and try to get another block there. He doesn't get called. But running back roots.
And on a quick count, that's Samuel again.
You got to wonder if Urban Meyer right now is thinking a play ahead and thinking, I'm going for it on 2 straight plays if I don't make it.
3rd down and 1. The rise in red zone stats from a year ago. 53 touchdowns on 63 trips. Ezekiel Elliott, number 15, is now the running back. 3 wides. Option play right. Oh, good pursuit. Wow, wow, wow. Excellent defensive play. The tackle ultimately laid by Chris Johnson.
Pretty odd call if you ask me. Ohio State has the big guys up front. They've got the advantage, and they run wide. It gets strung out. Again, the bend but don't break defense works, but that time, I thought the play call was a little suspect. I'd have pounded it twice.
Loss of 7. It's 4th and 9, and the freshman Sean Nuremberger is on to try. He hit earlier from 46. 4th and 9. A 28-yard field goal attempt is good. But they still trail, does Ohio State.
I mean, Ohio State marched right down the field. Everything they called worked. Got down to the goal line, tried to run the option, defended well. Maybe seen the option a few times.
That's a future midshipman, and, well, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Been a game of big plays.
It really has. All of the plays have gone Navy so far. Replay official upheld that catch. replay official upheld that touchdown, and then replay official overturns the pitch. Navy gets the ball back, and then Chris Johnson to the outside, defeats the block, strung out well to the outside by Parrish, gains, and then Chris Johnson makes the play. Athleticism, which is what Coach challenged him about, has really come out big Navy's way so far in this game. Besides the slot backs, those wide receivers, those H-back hybrid guys, and the defensive tackles for Ohio State, I think every other position, the tiebreaker's gone to Navy so far in the game.
And so the midshipmen lead 7-6, 2:04 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. Kyle Clinton will kick off for Ohio State. Good one. Oh my goodness. Yep. Not a good one. That thing hooked low on the left-hand corner.
And that really could change the Navy strategy here with a different ball position. Instead of getting the ball at 25.
Out of bounds. Number 39 of the kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
It's a 10-yard penalty. Ball just curved out. Official's in perfect spot. Straddles the pylon, and he knows it went to his right, like foul ball in baseball.
Yep.
Can you imagine? I mean, Ohio State averaged 28 points a game in the first half last year. Can't imagine. I didn't study it that hard, got to be honest with you, okay? I can't imagine they didn't score a touchdown in every game in the first half.
Yes, exactly.
Can you say, Braxton Miller, how valuable a good quarterback is?
Here's a reverse. That looks like a forward pass again. That's Chris Swain who gets the carry. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report, Brent Stover and Brian Jones from the U.S. Open. We'll have updates from games across the nation, first half highlights and stats.
I was about to say, Vern, that Ohio State would, Navy got the ball in the 25 with 2 minutes to go. Ohio State would use their timeouts and try to get the ball back. But right now, Ohio State's saying, let's see what happens here.
Reynolds cuts it upfield and is down, and the clock will stop on the first down play. He is at the 47-yard line. 9 yards.
Take to the fullback, tackled by two players. A lack of discipline that time for the Ohio State. They did not go with their keys. 2 defenders tackling the fullback. Great keep by Keenan Reynolds. I think Darren Lee that time busted his assignment.
There's the pitch, right side. Out of bounds at the 35. Chris Swain.
The changeup for Navy now is to run the option to the fullback. They've been doing it to the slot backs, but now they've run the true option and getting the fullback on the edge.
Jameer Tillman late add to the offensive set now. First down and 10 at the 35.
See, Darren Lee that time took the quarterback. The play before, he took the fullback.
Come right. Nope, not this time. Let's see if they use one of their timeouts now. They both have 3. Deron Lee, number 43.
I don't think Ohio State will take one.
No.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
As 3 straight plays, Deron Lee was attacked on the edge.
And so the timeout is taken by Navy. And you heard 30-second timeout.
Vern, you talk about losing a valuable quarterback like this in college football. You got to go back and think back. I thought back to 2009, Sam Bradford at Oklahoma. Got hurt the first week against BYU. 8-5 record for Oklahoma this year. On the other side of it, 1985, Troy Aikman gets hurt, and Jamel Holloway comes in and they win the national championship.
And Troy Aikman goes to UCLA,
That's right.
Sits out, coached by Rick Neuheisel. And,
You know,
wow.
Yeah, and it just shows you, I mean, You know, RG3 got hurt one year, and they
Right.
had the season turned around for Baylor. You know, those quarterbacks are so valuable in wide open offenses in college football.
Second down 11 with 1:20 to go before the break. There's the pitch again to the 31-yard line. That's DeBrandon Sanders. 1:10 to go. Third down.
Oh, a double fake to find out what Ohio State is doing on defense. Also take advantage of bleeding the clock, also going all the way down if they don't make it.
Play clock at 14-13. Well,
3 different plays. That was all bleeding the clock, I think, by Navy that time. Give a few looks, take the clock down. If they don't convert here, they don't want to give Ohio State any time on the clock for the rest of the half.
and watch Keenan Reynolds here.
Yeah, I know. 3 different times. I don't even know if they were ever going to snap it on this one, though, Vern. I mean, they were just looking at the clock, trying to take it down and take their second to last time out.
Ken Niumatalolo chatting with us about his relationship with Keenan Reynolds said when they made their home visit to Antioch, Tennessee, Reynolds kind of sat to the side. Keenan did. Ken talked with the parents mostly, and he said, I mistakenly thought he was very shy. He was just sitting there taking it all in. And then during the spring break, Reynolds came to the Naval Academy spring practice. That's on the high school spring break. He wanted to study film.
A big play for this Buckeye defense.
Reynolds.
Very close.
Yeah, very, very close.
Decision time for Navy. If they don't make it, they called it a first down. Oh, Binns made the first down. I know that, number 57.
Yep. Pitch. Right side to the 20.
Got to take a timeout here, don't you?
Ryan Williams-Jenkins. Nick Sloan is the field goal kicker. 17 seconds to go.
I don't know if they called one pass of the game. Those little flip options end up being passed. Oh, it took too much time. Took too much time. Spent too much time. I think that's on you, Coach. I got to be honest. Should have had that timeout ready to go. It could have happened at 20 seconds. I would have called timeout right away.
Yes.
There it is, 21 seconds to go. You take a timeout. By the time Navy gets lined up and ready to go, you got to call a play. It keeps going. Ohio State has the right to get lined up. The officials got to get ready. Timeout costs them 11 seconds. Now, 11 seconds isn't big when there's 2 minutes to go, but when there's 20 seconds to go, that's a big mistake. And it's going to force them into a field goal.
I think he was agitated with Williams-Jenkins. I'm not quite sure.
Or the officials. I don't know what it is, but I thought it was a risky play.
Nick Sloan will try his first field goal of the season from 36 yards out to add to the Navy lead.
Remember, Navy gets the ball in the second half to start.
Pablo Beltran is the holder, and the long snapper, Joe Cardona, 36 yards away to pad the lead for the midshipmen. Oh, dear.
Kicking lows in 2013. Navy missed 4 extra points, and that was a big miss right there.
Sloan slightly wide right.
You're going to upset a powerhouse football team. A lot of things have been going well for Navy, but kicking game, that's tough to give 3 points away right there. Remember, this drive started with a kickoff that went out of bounds to set up the field position, and Navy ended up giving 11 seconds and then missed the field goal.
Final play, first half. Ohio State takes a knee. Navy will get the ball to open the third quarter. And let's go down to Allie LaForce with Urban Meyer.
Coach, it's not often you fail to score a touchdown in the first half. What do you tell the offense to get them in the end zone?
Well, we're, I don't want to say consistently moving the ball because we're not, but we're down in the red zone, I believe, 3 times. And that has to be a strength. A year ago was our strength. So that's got to be the offensive line, and we got to be able to pound the ball in there. 3
What's
times.
your assessment of JT Barrett's performance so far?
It's okay. I mean, it's, our offensive line's the concern right now. We have to play better than we are.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, Gary,
I should be the guy making $5 million a year. That's my.
I totally agree. I'm fully support. And you know, a rising tide raises all boats.
There we go.
And I'm in a canoe here. I'm just saying.
Oh God.
Pretty good. That's the end of the first half with our score still 7-6. After the break, back to our CBS Sports Network studio live from the U.S. Open in Flushing, New York for the Verizon Halftime Report. We are back in Baltimore. Ohio State and Navy meeting for the second time here, the 5th time ever. Navy has a lead, though they have never defeated the Buckeyes. It's 7-6 right now. And at halftime, just a few moments ago, the Ohio State band paying tribute to their colleagues from the Naval Academy by forming an anchor. And then, of course, one of the more wonderful traditions in all of college athletics, the dotting of the I. I had my eye on that, but
yes,
the guy had been. He's pretty good. Moments ago, let's go down to Allie LaForce. She had a chance to catch up with Ken Niumatalolo.
Coach, your defense held Ohio State to just 6 points in the first half. What's working defensively?
Well, I think our kids are flying to the ball. Coach Green and his defense staff got a great game plan, but football is not done in halves. We got to play a full game, and we got to find a way to finish.
One score for you, and then, of course, the missed field goal towards the end. How do you get into the end zone more?
Well, you know, they're a great defense. We just got to finish some drives. We had some mistakes during those drives. You know, we get the ball to start the second half. This is the biggest drive of the game.
Coach, thanks.
Allie, thank you. Vernon, Gary, and of course coming in, Gary, the overriding question was how much will OSU miss Braxton Miller?
Yeah, pretty good player he is, I think. And the offensive line. You know, I think Ohio State's defense, considering the offensive Navy, has done an admirable job. I mean, you're not going to shut these guys down completely. I do think Ohio State will retool. They'll throw a couple deep balls, continue to attack a little more physically against Navy. But as Coach just said to Allie, I mean, they're playing physical football too. I mean, it could go right down to that last drive of the game.
Well, they do get the ball to open the second half of play. Ken Niumatalolo, in his 7th year as the head coach of the academy, served 10 years as an assistant prior to that. Gary made the point earlier, this is a staff of experience under the native of Honolulu. And we're about set to go. Kyle Clark will kick off. Damon Brown, number 25, is back for Navy. Clark for Ohio State. Damon Brown grabs it at the 3, near side. Gets a block on the edge and out of bounds up near the 21-yard line. Keenan Reynolds, first half.
Well, I think he's managed the game. You know, no breakout plays. The one scramble throw to the outside one keeper, nothing big, but just enough to annoy Ohio State. Ohio State never really nails them down. The two biggest defenders, obviously, in the game, Washington and Bennett inside. Ohio State must play inside out. They're aligning very wide, Vern. Ends are very wide. Linebackers, outside linebackers, very wide. Those two inside tackles must continue to dominate.
Pitch right. Nice. First play, third quarter. Joffrey Whiteside.
So interesting, you know, you watch Ohio State practice these arc blocks, and again, the pitch comes, playing bump and run on one guy to the outside. Tyvis Powell, number 23, is the only other player there to make the play, and he gets knocked down by the slot back.
And on first down 10, they give it inside. This time as a broken tackle. And here goes Ryan Williams-Jenkins across midfield and all the way down to the 41.5-yard line.
You know, it's not like this Navy offense hasn't faced, you know, highly schooled defensive linemen before. Remember in 2011, Navy went up and to face South Carolina, and they ran the same offense. They lost 24-21, but in that game, Melvin Ingram, a first-round draft pick with the Chargers, Jadeveon Clowney, Devin Taylor, 4 defensive linemen that played in the NFL in that game. They faced good players. They rushed for 274 yards in that game against the elite talent.
I'm remembering Steve Spurrier saying, who scheduled these guys?
Exactly. And remember, you know, Florida had trouble with Georgia Southern last year. I remember Nick Saban. Remember facing that one Georgia Southern. This offense can go against these elite defensive players and kind of make them go kind of sideways.
Keenan Reynolds, pitch at the last minute. That's a modest gain. Now let's take a look at the 5-hour energy first half stats.
Yeah, I think if Ohio State had a do-over, they would try to play a little more physical football. When they were running the ball, remember they got that good play action pass.
Right.
You know, I think that's their key. And of course, that 3rd and 1 call near the goal line, you heard from Urban, he was second guessing that call himself.
3rd down 3, opening drive, 3rd quarter. Reynolds, whoa, picked up
the other way.
Watch out. No one can catch him. Deron Lee, touchdown Buckeyes.
I thought this should have been a gift to the fullback the whole way. I was shocked he didn't give it to Quentin Singleton that time. Once he made the first read wrong, bad things happen after that for Reynolds. Singleton splits. That would have been a first down to the fullback. Once he misreads it early, everything goes wrong for the Navy offense.
Here's the extra point after the 61-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
They say that Keenan Reynolds does not make mistakes, but I think on this one, he did. The fullback could have picked up, there was 3rd and short, get a double team, and that's a first down. And once that mistake is made, it gets complicated because the Ohio State defense is aligned to the outside, and then one thing leads to another. Joey Bosa makes a great play on Keenan Reynolds, and Ohio State turns the game. Remember, biggest play of the game, coach said to Allie, Ohio State made the play.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by America's Navy. By True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the nutrition experts at One A Day. And by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
How about this for a segue? Let's go from chicken to crabs. Or not. 13-7. And the biggest play of the game, the fumble return for the touchdown by Lee.
Looked a little messy, but tasty, right?
Yeah.
You took him out of there?
Yeah. Did you try some?
Sure.
Of course it did. I've had only one mistake this weekend. The waiter tried to talk me into the crab soup.
It didn't like it. You should have gone with it.
I went for the green pea soup, and it was not good. Kyle Clinton. Damon Bryant.
I want to take one more look at that. I think Keenan Reynolds looked inside on this and saw the tilted nose player and decided early not to give the ball. Joey Bosa to the outside actually makes the play to cause the turnover. Double mistake by the quarterback. You make a bad decision and then you try to force the play. Bosa makes a big time play. And for Navy, you know, you make a big stop there on 3rd down to force a field goal. Then you miss a field goal. And then you have a turnover for a touchdown. That's a minus 10 points in a close game.
On 1st down, they give it this time up the middle. Ryan Williams Jenkins inside the 20.
Navy offensive line. Watch this block right here by Binns. A little hand back this time. Binns finally wins inside. And then a rub down from the outside. I don't know who it was. I think it was Heap. Brandon Heap that got another block. And Williams Jenkins just has a dash and goes, oh my gosh, a little hand back. And we turn the field upside down.
Yes, 67-yard run. Reynolds pitches around the edge to the 5-yard line to Brandon Sanders. Pretty good answer by Navy.
Yeah. You know, Vern, I get made fun of because I don't use momentum in my broadcast, and here's another point. Ohio State had everything going for them, and all of a sudden the field goes the other way.
I've heard guys say old momentum's on their side.
I've heard too.
Yeah, periodically.
Well, Ohio State wants to kick it off if it was on their side.
Yeah.
They don't want them anymore.
Ball at the 4, 1st and goal.
A well-blocked play defeats momentum every time, right?
I'm learning. Reynolds spins. I believe he is not in.
That was funny.
How do you like the way I backed out of that one?
50 years of experience right there, ladies and gentlemen. This time Reynolds keeps it and pushes, and Vern waits for the no call.
Well, I kind of learned on the only Navy touchdown.
Exactly.
Oh, Niumatalolo thought they had it.
Yep, it's very close. Did the ball touch the line? Will they get a review of it?
It does not appear so.
They're going to review
now it appears so. I'm reversing again.
These fans are pretty smart, aren't they?
Yeah.
Charge timeout, Navy. They're first.
Oh.
Navy wants a review.
Timeout.
Niumatalolo's looking and going, we didn't ask for a timeout. Or coach is wondering why we didn't get a review.
And he's talking to the line judge right now.
Bosa comes in late. The ball is pushed. Does it get to the line? Does it get to the line? Boy, it's really close. Was his legs down or not? You know, the replay is being shown in the stadium. And we've got about 50,000 replay officials here just disagreeing. You wouldn't believe this, but the replay officials in red shirts don't think he scored.
You know, focus on the ball.
That's really close. I mean, you could make the argument that he touched it, but Navy's got a couple calls already. It's only 2nd down.
They are charged with the timeout. Reynolds, quarterback sneak. Yes, touchdown.
I'll tell you, Reynolds takes a fair amount of punishment playing quarterback for Navy, doesn't he? I mean, 13 of 21 games of his career, Keenan Reynolds has carried the ball more than 20 times. And he gets hit a lot.
Now they're looking at it. This one, the one called the touchdown.
Yeah, that's going to stand. He got the ball across to touch the line that time. Well, a great call by Ivan Jasper, the hand back on the first play of the series. I mean, that's when your coaching staff really earns their money. The veteran staff, Vern was talking about it, I talked about it. You know, 7 coaches on this staff have been here more than 10 years.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
And Ivan Jasper, who Ken Niumatalolo calls the best quarterback coach he's ever been around, dialed up a great play call to start this series.
Ivan Jasper, another of those who's been with Niumatalolo for a long time. 67-yard run set up the touchdown. And now Nick Sloan will try the extra point to give Navy the lead yet again. Keenan Reynolds, Antioch, Tennessee.
Well, remember, it was a quick minus 10 points that Navy had given Ohio State, a missed field goal, a fumble for a touchdown, but on the first play of the series, a beautiful hand back to Ryan Williams-Jenkins, turns the field upside down, and then Brandon Sanders takes it inside the 5-yard line, and from there, Navy pushes it in with a final quarterback sneak. A great answer by this veteran Navy offense.
Keenan Reynolds got the touchdown from a yard out, 14-13, after the extra point. How quickly was that accomplished? 4 plays, 84 yards, and Navy now with 261 yards rushing.
Remember the story Ivan Jasper told us that they were watching that last Auburn game, and I was going to enjoy that game. He goes, right up until the end, when Auburn with that last play passed us as the leading rushing team in the country, we were all mad. He goes like that.
Well, Ivan Jasper up in the coach's booth. The offensive coordinator's 15 years at the Naval Academy. 14-13. Navy with a counterpunch. Austin Greavy will kick off, number 43. And this one is deep and taken 9 yards back. Well, Allie DeForest with us. What's going on with Ohio State, Allie?
Guys, just trying to get a feel for how the coaches are reacting to Navy's play in this close game. Urban Meyer is about as calm as it gets. He's talking to the players a lot, communicating very well, but you don't see a lot of emotion or anger or even excitement out of him. Very cool, calm, and collected. Co-offensive coordinator Ed Warner had some of the players doing some footwork drills on the sideline just to keep them loose, and his big message was just to follow the ball. That's what we're seeing down here.
All right, Allie, thank you. Ed Warner had some experience playing against this Navy team. He was for 12 years with the Army staff. And, of course, Urban Meyer was on the Notre Dame staff that played Navy regularly.
And Ed Warner was also at Notre Dame. He's faced him 19. This is his 19th time he's faced Navy.
My goodness. Dontre Wilson nailed by James Britton.
Well, James Britton is one of those 2 inside linebackers that Navy needed to replace. Remember, a year ago, Corey Peterson and DJ Sargenti led this team with 252 total tackles. But you know what? When you play inside linebacker in Navy, you make tackles. And they have other guys to replace them.
Second down, 11. Barrett lofts it. And is it caught?
Yep.
Yes. Michael Thomas, number 3. 22-yard gain.
Got to give credit to Ohio State with this play call right here. They took the pressure off the quarterback and still threw the ball downfield. That's no read for the quarterback. J.T. Barrett just had 2 receivers, one in the flat and one deep. He rolls out real confident throw from J.T. Barrett.
Had a first down at the 46.
Good call to take the pressure off of a young quarterback. They get him outside and throw to the sideline.
Rod Smith, the running back. He gets it. High steps out of a tackle. That was a potential loss. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by Golden Corral. Of course, we're the lucky ones that are going to be back here on December 13th for Army-Navy. I'm just guessing it might be a little chillier.
Hope it's not as cold as the last time. Here's an odd formation. Hireman, receiver real wide over here. Something new.
Kind of stacked.
Yep.
And they give it up the middle across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Only 105 days to go. The countdown to America's game, the Army-Navy game, presented by USAA, only on CBS Sports. It'll be played right here on December 13th. Always a highlight and a way for us to end our regular season. Third down at 4.
Vern, what does Buddy Green do? One of the worst third down defenses in college football last year. Will they blitz?
Oh, that's very close. Did it come out?
It did. It did.
Oh, wow.
Great second effort, but maybe too much effort. Was his leg down?
Taylor Decker, the only returning offensive lineman, made the recovery.
It's going to be
4th and 1, and they're going to go quickly.
I don't think he was down. This might be reviewable.
Too late now. Navy with a stop.
I cannot believe Ohio State didn't ask for a review on that play.
Will Anthony made the tackle.
And I don't know what the replay official was doing. The replay official should have stopped that game.
Let's take a look first at the third down play.
I don't think he's down. And he's clearly across the line right there. That should have been a first down by Ohio State, and the replay official should have stopped the game, or Ohio State should have taken a timeout, and then they try to hurry up, and Navy blitzes it.
Wow. First down 10 on the Ohio State turnover, the stop rather. Here's Reynolds to the 48, perhaps the 47.
I guess I am pounding it, but that's where the hurry up hurt Ohio State. I think if they'd have taken their time, they might have got a replay, and you know, see, there's no way he's down. I think he climbed right over him. Now he's down, and then the ball comes out late. He would have been down on contact. Woo, that's a huge play, and half of it the officials.
Second down. They test the middle, and they don't get anything. Maybe a half yard.
Guess who's there again? This time it's Washington.
Adolphus Washington. Gary's pointed out he and Bennett have dominated that middle. Third down.
And they have to. The alignment of Ohio State is very wide. These two outside linebackers are really wide. It wasn't quick enough there.
Toss left. Copeland. Oh, he dives forward. He might have gotten it. I believe they're going to spot the ball with enough yardage for a first down and 10. Yes.
I'll tell you, this is like, there's so many different ways to attack as they go forward. And Copeland did not touch a knee down, and he dove for the first down. I mean, you run, and like Ivan Jasper, he ran this offense as a quarterback, and now he's called it for over 10 years. But as you saw Copeland dive forward, Vern, another athletic play.
Oh, there's a pretty good one. That's Darren Lee, number 43, who had the big fumble return for a touchdown earlier in this quarter.
And Darren Lee was and that should have probably been another give, another mistake, and Darren Lee, a little bit of a stunt on defense. Defensive coordinator Chris Ash moving his defense a little bit more here in the second half. They're not just standing there. That was a called blitz play.
They'll test the middle. How about this run? Damon Brown, number 25.
It's the same play that was run by Ryan Williams-Jenkins for the big gain, only the other side. And this time Damon Brown takes it, beats a tackle in the secondary. I think it was Tavis Powell that missed the tackle in the secondary, bounces outside and picks it up. This is like trying to attack Jell-O, you know, if you're Ohio State. You know, it just seems to move every time you hit it hard.
Now they got him again. That's Adolphus Washington, who has had a terrific afternoon.
It's one of those games where Washington and Bennett on the plane ride go home and go, I don't understand it. I killed my guys. How can this be possible? We only got 2 guys between their tackles. We're destroying them, and they're still running on us.
Second down, 12. 5:25 to go in the third. Navy hangs on to a 1. Here's a play action. Reynolds to pass. Maybe.
Nothing.
Curtis Grant, the middle linebacker, first there, number 14.
Kind of a funny call, I thought, for Ohio State. The one time for Navy, the one time Ohio State was expecting a pass, Navy throws a pass. Ohio State not fooled. They played man-to-man coverage. Everyone was covered in the secondary. I think when Navy throws, it has to be in a pure run-down situation. That, to me, was a pass-down situation.
Luke Fickell, co-defensive coordinator for Ohio State. And it's third down, 23. Timeout.
Yeah, you know, I don't even know if I'd have used my timeout there. I think I'd just kept it and taken a 5-yard penalty. That valuable timeout they may need later.
No.
Not bad.
Aaron Taylor will be out there tonight.
You know, next year, if I have a good idea to do another game, should I suggest Hawaii? Or
would you please? I come back from vacation in June.
Because I had my eye on this one, but maybe I should choose Hawaii.
Larry Johnson, 18 years as a line coach defensively at Penn State in his first year, and that position for Urban Meyer. Reynolds sidearms it. It's caught by Jameer Tillman. Larry Johnson's son, a pretty good player, too.
Larry had 6 #1 draft picks at defensive line, and I think you could see this Ohio State defensive line has really looked to promise with Larry's coaching right there, and his recruiting abilities are pretty good, too. But you see what I'm talking about, that timeout? I mean, now Navy with 1 timeout left in the game, there wasn't much of a chance to pick up that first down. I'd have taken the 5 yards. What's the difference, the punt here or where it was? I just, for Navy's sake, hope they don't need that extra timeout.
Fourth down.
Yeah, there's a 5-yard penalty on top of it.
Delay a game, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Please remind me next time I mention fewest penalties in the country to just bury that thought. Beltran, Dontre Wilson. That'll bounce and scoots into the end zone. .421 to go, third quarter. Ohio State trails Navy by 1. 14-13 Navy with 4:21 to go in the third. In today's installment of Navy's Greatest Legends, let us bring you Thomas LaForce. Navy defensive tackle, 1968. He intercepted a pass, returned it for a touchdown in the '68 Army-Navy game. LaForce. It's going to become a really familiar name. It's the same name as Allie LaForce, and that was her uncle. You don't remember that, do you?
No, not exactly, but I am proud to say that's my uncle. He would tell you he can run faster now than back then, but we'll leave that up for debate. Fun note, when he played at Navy, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick was the ball boy, and his father was the head coach at Navy. Pretty cool fun fact.
All right, Allie. And by the way, Allie LaForce, new to our crew this year, played basketball for Ohio University, and you scored your first 2 points against
Navy.
Aha.
Yes, and it was at Navy, the most beautiful campus, and I have to say I have fond memories there.
Great, Allie. Thank you.
Here we go deep. He's got him.
Oh, does he ever? Oh, my goodness. Devin Smith, untouched, touchdown, Ohio State.
Kind of been waiting for that all game.
That is a stunned look.
Bertrand, number 17, Quazell Bertrand, froze on the play action pass. And all game we've been kind of waiting. When will Ohio State throw the deep ball?
Nurnberger with the extra point. That one went 80 yards, 8-0.
Devin Smith lined up on the right side of the formation. Little play action pass. And he just sprints right by the secondary. That's where he's lined up. Play action pass. The Navy secondary freezes. And then the ball is, smartly underthrown here. You don't want to miss a guy like that. You don't need to prove how good of an arm you have when you got a guy 10 yards in the open. And Devin Smith, one of the 2 senior receivers. We talked about all those little slot backs. But Devin Smith, that is a play call right there. Navy did it with one play call, an inside hand. Ohio State comes back with a play action pass.
J.T. Barrett, Wichita Falls Rider High School. Devin Smith.
Way to go. Still plenty of time in this football game. You think it seems like the game is this third quarter's taking a long. It's a lot has happened here. The fumble for the touchdown. Ran back by Navy. Now big touchdown there.
Touchback. Keenan Reynolds getting ready to head back on the field. 4:10 to go. Third quarter. Today's First Down Line is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union.
Well, the Buckeyes only returned because of Braxton's injury late here. Only 11% of their total offense going into the season. And because of that, it took them 41 minutes to put their first touchdown on the board. And remember how prolific this offense was scoring a year ago.
You raised the question earlier, the last time that Ohio State had not scored a touchdown in the first half of play. Answer coming shortly. Reynolds, that's another forward pitch. The last time Ohio State didn't score in the first half, October 15th, 1911.
What?
I only provide the answers, not the questions.
Really? Even all those Bo and Woody games and stuff like that?
You're acting suspicious.
I'm suspicious. I'm gonna double down on this one.
This is not Jeopardy. I am not Alex
It's a
Trebek.
great stat if it's true.
If it's true, okay.
Aren't they all if they're true, physically? No, the give. Somebody told him to give, and oh my.
Oh, dear.
Holding penalty on Navy.
Yeah.
When's the last time you seen that? And it looks like E.K. Binns is coming off the field, too. One of their,
Holding offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty, 3-point second down.
And you wouldn't be surprised where the holding's going to come on. It's got to be from the inside out against this Ohio, yeah, you can see it. Hand right on the shoulder that time of Bennett. Isn't he trying to, is that who he's got there? Yes, it is. He's trying to block Michael Bennett, and Michael Bennett has stoned everything up the middle. That was a good call, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Second and 17 up the middle. Nice defensive stop to avoid even more yards on the ground. Ryan Williams-Jenkins tackled by Von Bell, number 11. Bell, one of those redshirt freshmen who was in a battle either or. Beg your pardon, sophomore. I think he's one of the guys, Gary, that Urban Meyer said he wished he had played it more last year. There's Bell.
Interesting play call, 3rd and long. Don't want to give Ohio State the ball back right now. What do? Wishbone offense.
You pitch. You come around the edge. You give it to Joffrey Whiteside.
That's a funny bust by Ohio State. Nobody having the pitch back. You know that assignment football, that was a mistake. Give it to the fullback, who did not get outside that time. I think it was Darren Lee, 43. He had his nose inside on the fullback. Luke Fickell, you know, on every defense, everybody is, one guy's got the fullback, one guy's got the quarterback, and one guy has the pitch back. That time a wide open pitch on 3rd and long.
There's another. Damon Brown. My goodness.
Run your offense. Stay with your fundamentals. Throw on the linebackers. North and South football, run the option wide.
Here they come. Inside the 40, down to the 39. Damon Brown, number 25, with the tackle. Did I say a moment ago 1911?
Yes,
that's no wonder you questioned me.
That's a long time.
That's before Vic Janowitz played.
Okay, what was it? 1991.
2011.
2011. Okay, you're off 100 years. Big deal.
Well, it's the first game.
One for GD this year.
I'm keeping score. No wonder you looked at me wide-eyed.
Just 100 years.
Oh goodness. Oh, nice play. Wow.
And you have to believe that Ivan Jasper has said, come on, Keenan, stick with your reads. Give the football to the fullback some. They're stretching us out. Don't give up on your first guy. Trust your offensive line, and if he had done that a little bit earlier, they might not have had a fumble for a touchdown. Good coaching, good adjustments from the sideline.
First down and 10. And here comes the pitch and the run to the right side. And again, this is Tony O'Gully. They just use a variety of backs and keep coming at you.
You know, if you're under 5'9" and you're fast,
go to Navy.
And you're a good student. I could add about 10 more other things, but
yeah,
it's not a bad offense for you here, right here, is it?
You asked Keenan Reynolds the other day if there are more offenses evolving toward this style of play. I think you think there are, right?
Well, a little bit of what Auburn was doing.
Okay.
You know, from their shotgun, they're running a lot of these similar plays.
Wow. DeBrandon Sanders. That should be the final play of the third quarter. It is.
Well, what a good football game.
Isn't it, though? That's the end of 3, 20-14 Ohio State. You're watching college football right here on the CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We are back in what is called the Inner Harbor of downtown Baltimore. You go back 40 years. This was the location of a lot of old abandoned warehouses. The renovation began in the 70s and now just a spectacular place. The culmination of which I think is the baseball park and
we had a great view last night, didn't we?
We did have a good time. Gary and I went across the street and 8 outdoors, caddy corner from the Orioles Park. It was fun because every time something happened, we could hear and then look inside the restaurant and see it on the replay. 3 seconds later, by the way. Ninth play of the drive as we begin the fourth quarter. Pitch right. Nope.
Oh. Now that's how you play Joshua Perry, the middle linebacker, lining up very deep, but he goes right for the pitch man. On that play, the middle linebacker lined about 6 yards deep. Tried to telestrate that, didn't really work very well. Watch him run for the alley, ignores the quarterback, and goes right outside.
3rd and 12.
Remember, the problem here is Navy's kicking game. What do you do?
Nick Sloan has missed from 36 already this afternoon. 3rd down, 12. Reynolds.
You got to send your field goal team out. You got no choice.
That was Armani Reeves, number 26.
That was a great defensive stand by Ohio State. Stop for a loss on 1st down. Stop for a loss on 2nd down, and a very short gain on 3rd down.
And so Sloan is on. 2nd field goal attempt today, missed from 36 in the first half.
Missed slightly to the right.
This from 32. That one's right down the pipe. 2017. Opening moments, fourth quarter, a good one underway between Ohio State and Navy. Well, Keenan Reynolds, Gus Whites, and the white uniforms. We haven't even talked about those for Navy. Very attractive outfits.
Yeah,
yes,
really
aren't they?
Yep.
Very
like
good.
I usually don't like new uniforms either. But I like those.
We begin the fourth quarter. Gary Danielson, Vern Lundquist, Allie LaForce down on the field. 2 big plays for Ohio State highlight that 3rd quarter.
Right. How about that? 7 plays for Ohio State in that 3rd quarter, and they got 14 points. Of course, they got the defensive touchdown. Going to be no fatigue by anybody in this football game. That's not going to be a factor. The Navy offense is moving the ball, but Ohio State has been able to play the bend but don't break defense, basically. Really good football game. You know, that big pass for J.T. Barrett, that should loosen him up. You know, those deep passes for an inexperienced quarterback are pretty easy to throw.
Here's the kick. 3-point game. Taken by Dontre Wilson. No, good defensive play. Wow. And now it's time for our Geico difference makers. Here's Keenan Reynolds. 22 rushes, 41 yards, 2 of 4 passing. And that's usually about the difference in number of rushes and number of passes. And J.T. Barrett had the big one of 80 yards. 10 of 13, 1 touchdown, and interception.
I think Ohio State's done a nice job on Keenan Reynolds. Usually that's about as many attempts, but he's not getting any big plays.
Right. Curtis Samuel is the running back now.
Yeah, what do you do if you're Ohio State? Are you going to go? You can't go fool them again going deep. But you sure love your matchups outside.
Will Anthony got there defensively. Nice play.
You know, as we talked about Urban Meyer and his offensive coordinator Tom Herman, you know, this is who they selected. J.T. Barrett is the guy they went and found. He was ranked, look at that, 4th, 6th, 7th. You know, look at this Kenny Hill. He had a pretty good starting game.
I heard that.
With the same amount of experience going into the game. So, you know, when you take a guy, you've got him for 2 springs, a full camp, you're expecting him to produce at quarterback.
They'll ride it up the middle. Samuel across the 30 after the 32. And the chains will move. Quincy Adams, number 5, with the tackle.
I like running right at this Navy defense. You know, this is a defense that was ranked 80th in the National Football League, in college football last year. 180 yards a game, approximately, they gave up. You need to go at them. They're pretty athletic on the edges. You need to run it and challenge them up the middle.
See the disparity in yards on the ground thus far. Wilson from that hybrid spot. And Samuel breaks another one. He's got a first down for the Buckeyes out at the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 11.
Yeah, this is the offense, the Carlos Hyde offense right now that Ohio State is dialing up. Run right at you. I'll bet you right now, if I was Urban Meyer, I'd hit myself in the head for that third down call of the option on there when I thought they were going to go 4-down territory.
That was earlier in the third when they were stopped, strung out.
But, yeah, that was...
First down 10. Ohio State by 3. Excuse me, Gary.
Timeout by Ohio State.
Urban Meyer, third year at Ohio State. Native Ohioan from Ashtabula. We are back in Baltimore. The Navy defense. That's Bernard Serra, number 77.
It was the Navy defense that kept this game alive for Navy before they hit the big play, making big plays to the outside with an interception. And then getting the stops when they needed to. Parrish Gaines, Chris Johnson, and then after the play on third down, getting the stop on 4th and short on the hurry up. Making plays, do they need another one?
Well, it's first down 10 right now. Buddy Green, his 13th year. It just speaks to the theme we've established this afternoon about the continuity of the Navy coaching staff. Really kind of all began with Paul Johnson, didn't it? The most in the modern era.
Same system being run on offense.
First down 10. Nothing.
One thing is, to me, very apparent about J.T. Barrett. He doesn't possess the running skills anywhere near to what Urban is used to in his spread quarterback. You know, from Alex Smith at Utah, to when he was at Bowling Green, or with Tim Tebow. You know, that may be why with Allie in the opening he brought up Chris Leak's name, because his running skills are, you know, just pretty average.
Chris Leak-like.
Yeah, I give him a benefit of the doubt a little better than that, but not in modern day football in the spread. You usually look for a little bit more than that.
And that is not to diminish the impact that Chris Leak had on that Florida program.
But remember, he had a freshman, Tim Tebow, that ran the short yardage third down plays.
I kind of remember one in Tennessee.
Yes, exactly.
3rd and 3.
Remember, Navy blitzed a 4th down and short. Well, they blitzed this. Ohio State stays sway spread.
Yes, 3 wide to the left, 1 right.
They blitz it.
Here comes the blitz. Barrett. Oh, he got loose. Yeah. Now, what's the spot? No. Looks like he's just a foot or so short.
Well, you got a new quarterback. You've got a new offensive line. You were stopped last time on 4th and short. This is why you get paid the big bucks, Urban, to make decisions like this.
It would appear he's going to go for the first down.
Ohio State's defense has been very good in the second half.
4th and 1. Ezekiel Elliott is the running back. Close, but I think he got it. Let's see. Now the spot. First down.
Woo. Very nice Buckeye spot on this one, but I think it's probably right. He got to the line, I think. Good blocking up front by that Ohio State offensive line. I think it was Pat Elton, number 65, that got the big block that time.
First down 10. 20:17 under 10 to go.
Oh.
Are they going to review this? No.
Navy takes their last timeout for a replay. Niumatalolo just throwing the dice on the table there. It's incredible to burn your last timeout asking for a replay.
Nevertheless. Well, we're back, and the call on the field was ruled correct.
By the linesman right there. Well, he's got the clearest look. All the bodies are blocking us and most of our cameras. Clear look running in right there. I thought it was a big gamble by Coach Niumatalolo. There's nothing we can tell of an elbow or a knee down, so you got to go with the linesman, and he makes the call, and they're going to stick with it. You know, that's 3 questionable uses of timeouts for Navy in this second half.
And they have none remaining. First down 10, Ohio State, 9:53 to go. Ball is at the 44. Touchdowns third quarter. A 61-yard fumble return, Darren Lee. And then an 80-yard pass, Devin Smith from Barrett. Ohio State leads it by 3. Barrett, a lot of time, man wide open. That's caught out on the near side by Evan Spencer, number 6.
I tell you, J.T. Barrett hung in the pocket. Good pass protection from the offensive line. Went through his reads and confidently threw that ball. That offensive line that was giving up pressure early, but remember, those were third down plays. This is a first down call. A wheel route to the slot. Much different pass protection when you've got that Navy defensive line dialed up to stop the run, and then you throw on first down.
9:26 to go. Left side, Wilson.
Woo, was that a quick cut? Holy cow.
He's got a couple of moves.
He sure does. Again, he plays that slot back position. Recruited player out of Texas high school, running back, and you can see the moves.
Pat Elflein was leading the way around the left side.
It has been aggressive offense by Ohio State in the second half. The long pass on first down, the long pass right there, a little more power inside. Good job by the Ohio State Buckeye offensive staff.
9 to go. Up the middle, touchdown Buckeyes. Ezekiel Elliott, untouched.
Well, you got to give it to that offensive line for Ohio State and the play calling. And that time they mashed Navy, just mashed him. Jacoby Boren, Pat Eflin, just mashed him.
Sean Nurnberger with the extra point. And that extends the lead to 10. It's a 10-play, 80-yard drive. It took 5:42 off the clock. And Ezekiel Elliott scored it.
Excuse me, Vern. Well, it was aggressive all the way. Urban Meyer goes for it on 4th and short. They get the first down. Then on first down, remember they just hit Navy for a bomb on first down. This time they go the wheel route on first down, a completion, and then they come back and hammer again. And inside, Jacoby Boren, great block. Billy Price, number 54, another great block. They just break that bend but don't break defensive Navy. Really think they popped the cork on that deep pass, don't you think?
Yes, I do.
That really changed the outlook for Navy.
Elliott from well outside the 10-yard line for the touchdown. 27-17, 8:54 remaining.
Now if you're Navy, you almost have to start thinking it's 4-down territory because you don't have any timeouts. you're most likely going to have to score on this drive if you kick it off. But if you don't score on this drive, you will probably have to use an onside kick if you have any chance to win.
Kyle Clinton, this will be returned by Damon Brown, number 25. Oh, nice special teams play by Ron Tanner, high school classmate of Joffrey Whiteside. Not everyone can be a quarterback, so get inside the minds of those who can. Join Rich Gannon, Steve Bierlein, Trent Green, and host Adam Shine when NFL Monday Quarterback Delivered by FedEx returns Monday, September 8th at 5 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Well, the Ohio State defense has to give up yards slowly here. They can't gamble and give up a big play. Let's see how they defend this. Same look.
First and 10.
Same result.
Yep, exactly.
Michael Bennett, 63. Bennett right inside. He has been a load all game. He and Washington, 92, have just been almost unblockable inside. And that's allowed Ohio State to stay in that wide set defense the whole game.
It'll be third down after that last play.
Remember, Keenan Reynolds in his career as quarterback, he's had 5 fourth-quarter winning drives in 2 years at quarterback. He wins this one, this will be his best.
Yes, but maybe down by 10, 7:52 to go. Third down.
Nope, strung out, nothing there.
Fourth down.
Great defense.
Curtis Grant led the way, number 14.
Great defense. That's Luke Fickell. Chris Ash is the newest defensive coordinator. Watch that Ohio State defense. Hold it right there. Look at that. Outside leverage. Here's a safety. Here's another safety. That ball's going nowhere, but no gain. That's how you stop the thief. There's 6 Buckeyes on the quarterback right there.
Here's Beltran to punt on 4th down and 3. And Dontre Wilson, number 2, is back. Nice tight spiral. Taken at the 22. And tackled at the 30-yard line by George Jamison. 51-yard punt, 8 on the return. Buckeyes have established a 10-point margin.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by TrueCar. When buying a car, save time, save money, and never overpay. Visit TrueCar.com. By Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
Inner Harbor of Baltimore, 27-17 the score right now with just under 7 remaining. And now let's take a look at today's Northrop Grumman aerial performance of the game. Thought it might be this one.
Yeah, I think this is the one that really put Navy's defense in shock. Remember, Ohio State had the ball 6 times to start the game, scored 6 points, and produced 190 yards. The last 2 series, 14 points and 160 yards. The quick TD, and then the long drive with the TD. And, you know, usually you might say Ohio State wore Navy down. I don't think they wore them down. This time they shocked them.
Well, they are seemingly in command now with this 10-point lead and under 7 remaining. Next up for the Buckeyes, they've got Virginia Tech. And next up for Navy, Temple. Look at that time of possession. It's like momentum.
Never know, right? You know,
Dontre Wilson, yep.
It's interesting here. I think this is going to be, Ohio State holds on to this, a big win for them mentally. Remember how they finished last year against Michigan? They gave up 603 yards defensively. Michigan State, who had only gone over 400 against Indiana, Illinois, and Northwestern, put over 400 on Ohio State. And then they finished up in the Orange Bowl with Clemson putting 576. They were shocked. They retooled. I think their defense has done a nice job out here today. It's not easy stopping this triple option, but that is a good sign for the Buckeyes going forward.
27-17, second down and 4. Barrett. Well, not exactly reminiscent of Braxton Miller, but a nice run.
Just those little keeps. If you can do it, you know, he's going to be a passing quarterback. And watching him play right here, this is going to look a little bit different for Ohio State. They're going to have to play power, and his keeps are going to be plays to change up the defense. It won't be featured in the offense.
Well, you remember, of course you do, the game manager tag that
Yes.
was affixed to Alabama quarterbacks. Here's a new one. I've read it about 5 times about Barrett. He's a distributor.
Distributor, yes.
Sounds like he's selling batteries.
Door to door.
Yes. 5:41 to go. Left side. And of course, Navy has used all 3 of its timeouts, sometimes in a puzzling fashion.
Let's talk about Navy a little bit. We were with them 2 years ago when they kind of got outmanned by Notre Dame. That Notre Dame team played for the national championship. But this time, this Navy team wasn't outmanned. You know, they were on the football field. They are a much different looking team. You look at their schedule as it unfolds. A couple of teams are starting to get a little better that they face, and then they got that Notre Dame game. You know, for them to get 9 or 10 wins, I think it's still possible for them.
That Notre Dame game will be on CBS in prime time. And here's the stop. Second down and 7 becomes a third down. And let's take a look at this Navy schedule. Temple, Texas State, Rutgers with a big win.
Yeah, but Temple and Rutgers both have a big win.
Yes. And then at Air Force and farther down, November 1st, Notre Dame, Georgia Southern, South Alabama, and then that game here against Army. Third down, 11.
And Ohio State is going to run the ball here and take 40 seconds off the clock, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, they're going to run the ball.
And they get a first down plus 3 yards.
And
How
very
about that?
smartly, JT takes a knee there. When he knew he had the first down, he didn't expose the football. I mean, Navy, I'm surprised they even thought there was any possibility of this being a pass. Good block by Elliott downfield that time. Basically.
Now that's gains of 19 and 15 yards
Right.
on this drive. Today's first down line is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Under 4 to go.
Because Navy had no timeouts, Ohio State was able to run the ball on every play. They knew they had the clock in their favor. Remember in the 2009 game, Jim Tressel had a lead and he went for a fake field goal.
Barrett stopped at the 29.
No, he went for it on 4th down. He eschewed a field goal, didn't go for
That's
it.
right.
Got stopped. Next play was a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's a football game. You know, so you know, sometimes you got to watch these games that you think you have in control. You don't get that late turnover to turn it around. You know, one little salute there. We showed that pass play to Tom Herman, the offensive coordinator, up in the box in this football game. You know, he's the one that dialed up those aggressive plays in the second half. The first down passes had really changed the kind of the way this game was unfolding.
Under 3 to go. Elliott breaks a tackle down at the 8. He's got a touchdown already in this game. That's a gain of 20.
Yeah, inside. This is helping that offensive line. Another good block up front. I assume that the same offensive line in there. I didn't really catch it that time if it was Bourne or not. They made any switches. I think it is Bourne. Got another block up front. And as we were told on that by offensive coordinator Herman, Ohio State might be trying to kill the clock, but they haven't huddled around here in 26 games. They're not going to start now. They just take their time at the line of scrimmage.
And they use all of the play clock and then flip it out left side. That's Michael Thomas. Touchdown, Ohio State.
So this game is going to look on the scoreboard a lot different than it felt watching it in person.
Absolutely.
Which is important. Remember, all of this stuff is going to be judged. Ohio State's measurement here is to get into the Final Four. They, of course, want to win the Big Ten, and they're going to have to do that. They want to get into that Final Four, and they needed a convincing win. And this now will look like a convincing win.
Mm-hmm. They've doubled up on Navy with 2:09 to go. Michael Thomas with a touchdown. Well, of course, the Big Ten. Other key games this month. Rutgers defeated Washington State by 3 on Thursday. Penn State went to Dublin today and held off UCF, Central Florida, by 2. Wisconsin LSU, that's an attractive season opener tonight.
And I think next week it's a must-win for Oregon. I think the Pac-12 conference needs that win. If Ohio State goes, Michigan State goes out there and wins that game, that'll be a big storyline at the end of the year. Do want to take a little time right now to take a shout out to one of our old friends, Steve Snap, longtime SID, helped us a lot. I know you know him too, Vern.
Very well.
He's one of the great Buckeye people I've met in all the years that I've done Buckeye games. Talked to him on the phone when I was over there. I'm sure he's watching this game. We're all rooting for Steve Snap.
Yes, indeed. That goes from all of us here who've known Steve for all these years.
He said he did some work for you. Is that right, as a spotter or a researcher? Or...
Yeah, back in 1911.
Back in the old days before, everybody had cell phones. Steve and I went out golfing before a game. Can you imagine
No,
it
I cannot imagine.
I can't even imagine that.
With your work ethic?
Exactly.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but all they did was run between the tackles, and it was easy.
Yeah. 34-17, 2:09 to go. From the 5, it's Damon Brown. Well, another reminder that one of the biggest events of the fall, Thursday Night Football, now comes to CBS. And it'll all start from here on September 11th with the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Ravens. Your football week starts here on CBS. Mr. Roethlisberger, Mr. Flacco, we're looking across at this beautiful stadium and see the world champions 2000 and 2012.
Those are two big men right there playing quarterback.
They both weighed a little more than you did.
Those are big guys.
Yeah.
Saw Ben play in college, a tape of him against Northwestern when my son was at Northwestern. He was a skinny little guy playing quarterback back then.
Well, Keenan Reynolds is finished for the afternoon. Tago Smith, who's the same class as Keenan Reynolds, is on the field.
Good idea to get some snaps for the backup quarterback at Navy. Considering you got to have that experience at quarterback. It's a long season, as many hits. Remember a year ago, Keenan went down against Western Kentucky. Cost them a football game.
Around the left side, Tonio Gully. As we'll wind things down here with 1:30 remaining. There's Keenan Reynolds, finished for the day.
Well, I think this is, of all the teams that Navy has faced, this may be the most talented football team, top to bottom, that they will, maybe that they faced ever, to tell you the truth. I don't think they're going to see any more talent than this all year.
Well, here is another look at the midshipman schedule.
Just shows you the importance of Navy playing clean, though. I mean, for them to win against these Power 5 teams, conference teams, you can't give up 10 points. They missed a field goal and gave up a 7-point turnaround. That 10 points just changed the football game.
Keenan Reynolds telling us last week he grew up in Antioch, Tennessee, and was hoping. His favorite team was Florida. The quarterback at the time was a guy named Tebow. The head coach at the time was Urban Meyer. But Keenan said as the season wore on, he realized it wasn't in the cards. As Gary said a while ago, his measurables have not been kind to him.
He said that.
No, he did. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I made one mistake in a Navy game before, and I heard about it for 2 months. Remember that? It's like, yeah, exactly.
Makes you long for the old days when there was no
exactly.
social media.
Right. Well, Urban Meyer has built this program in his image. He was there back with Earl Bruce, and now he's got it looking the way he wants to look. Speed at defensive end, linebacker, safety, bump and run at the corner. Just the type of team he wants. Good win.
Yep. 25 straight in regular season. They were 24-0 before they got knocked off by Michigan State in the Big Ten title game last year, and then lost to Clemson.
You can almost feel Urban taking a deep exhale and going, I'm glad this one's over.
(34-17) the final. At one point, second half, it was 14-13. Navy had the lead. And big smile for Urban Meyer. And a handshake. There's the guy.
A lot of respect.
Keenan Reynolds. Well, JT Barrett, how'd he do?
Yeah, he had that one mistake where he tried to do a little bit too much down there on the goal line. I thought he got one bad call, the option play where they didn't make it. Overall, I think as advertised, he's a distributor. He's not a Braxton Miller. He doesn't have a gun for an arm, but he did not make a lot of mistakes in this football game, and he's going to get better and better as a thrower.
Allie LaForce is with Urban Meyer.
Coach, it took a while to get the offense going, but then 14 points in 7 minutes. What was the biggest adjustment they made?
Oh, our offensive line's 4 new guys, and they started. The first half was not good. You know, every time we had 2 penalties, we had a sack, and so they settled in and played. But the real thing that won this game was our defense. They played their tails off.
How big was that 80-yard pass from Barrett to Smith?
Well, you know, it's we were having a good conversation about that on the sideline, and we have to open this thing up at some point. Now we have a little more confidence with JT to do that.
Thanks, Coach, and congratulations. You have some singing to do.
And now the alma maters. Well, this game began some 3 hours ago with the sportsmanship handshake between these two teams. And this is very reminiscent now of Army-Navy.
You know, I got to really give Urban Meyer a lot of credit. You know, this just doesn't happen. He preached to his kids for probably a month that we want to beat them bad, but we want to respect them. And those guys from Ohio State just didn't go over there by accident. You got to give Urban a lot of credit for that.
And so now the Ohio State Buckeyes will head to the opposite end of the field and will stand in front of the Ohio State Buckeye Band and sing their alma mater, and the midshipmen of Navy follow them down.
You're not used to having the other team finish second, sing second, are they?
No. 12 in a row where against Army that's not been the case. What a nice way
Awesome.
to end this game.
That's college football at its best right there. It almost chokes me up a little bit. It's when you get recruited to those schools is what you come to those schools for, stuff like that. That's great.
34-17 the final. It was a 1-point game for much of the first 3 quarters.
Vern, you know, as I watch this game and watch Ohio State, let's stick with Ohio State because they were picked to be in the Final Four. They're going to be a different football team than they were a year ago. They're not going to be a dynamic roll people up team. But I think the message here is they're not going to go away either. Okay, you're going to have to play a good game to beat them. They're going to have some tough matchups at Michigan State, you know, those type of games. But they're still here, real, and they're still got a lot of good players.
Well, Navy has lost for the first time in the last 5 games. That includes a bowl game win last year. But Navy, with a 9-4 record a year ago, played very well in this one. 34-17, Ohio State leads Navy and wins it going away. For Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce, and our entire crew, I am Vern Lundquist. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We now send it to Flushing for live 3rd-round coverage of the U.S. Open presented by Heineken on the CBS Sports Network.